It's recording now. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
She ready, y'all?
You ready?
Yep. Ready as I'll ever be. And away we go. Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, y'all know who this is. This is DJ Rick, owner, founder of National Sex Day. And we've got what I call unedited, unscripted, and a very raw podcast. Sometimes you got to go raw. I'm going to be back in my studio not too long from today, but today I had to let whatever hair I have down. And I had to talk to a very special guest of mine. And I'm on my comfy couch. That's what I do. Call it comfy couch and gotta do it. I have the pleasure of talking to a professional in the, you might say, sex world or sex education, you might say. This, I tell you, gorgeous, young, stunning, model, picturesque, sexy, curvy, and I could go on and on about her, but I ain't trying to make any people jealous out there. You can see for the real deal, I'm not lying. Known for years. She goes by the name of Kendall, and she's going to tell you about what she does professionally for sexual education. First and foremost, welcome.
Thank you, Rick.
Did you expect an intro like that?
No, I didn't, but you didn't mention that I haven't changed in like the last 5 years.
When I met her, she has stayed the same. What you see is what you get. I want to see if she had a clone or something like that, because she has not changed whatsoever. Same stunning eyes, great skin, and other things that are contributed to her anatomy. I'm just going to try to keep it professional, but she hasn't changed whatsoever. But I tell you what has changed is that she's got more people working and wanting her services. Plain and simple, people. Sex Day, we cover everything. We cover everything from people having problems in the bedroom to STD prevention, to men who have ED, to women who never had an orgasm before, to the adult entertainment world. I've been doing that a lot because no one really knows them, so we have the opportunity for them to be heard. But the thing is, we have people who are professional. They're degreed, they study this, they go to college, they do what they do to let you guys know there is help and hope in some sexual health situations. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Yes. Unscripted. I wanted to say that like I had to say it, y'all. So, okay, well, tell us what you do and what made you get into this portion of your business. Because I tell people we do 90% of what people don't do. This is a business that you mention the word sex, people go crazy. They think it's taboo. They want to pick at your house, throw religious scripture at you, blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty sure you've been through all that, but what got you to do what you do? The light bulb moment when you said, this is what I'm going to do for a career.
I had a horrible sex life and no orgasms.
Whoa. God. Damn.
There you go. Unscripted.
I'm unscripted, but
I was in a horrible fucking marriage.
Did we talk about that before?
With a guy that didn't know what side was up, if you know what I mean.
Well, I'm not in the guy, so I'm not in the guy, so I don't know about it.
No, it was ridiculous. It was empty. It was empty. And then it started to take its toll. Little did I know that my sex was doing it, but it started to take its toll on my health. And mentally, emotionally, and actually physically. So I started to develop different health conditions. And I went down a whole lane of like trying to do all this different health stuff, worked on my diet because I also have nutritional certification back there.
Okay.
So that plays a role. And I had done a massive amount of work, got about 80% healed.
But not fully.
Still didn't have orgasms, still wasn't content in my marriage, still wasn't happy, still felt empty, still felt purposeless, unfulfilled, unseen, untouched.
Well, did he at least catch on to it, or was it not?
He told me I was crazy.
Oh, I do remember that part of the conversation.
I am a little crazy, but I'm a woman.
Okay, women, she said that herself. Okay, don't write me and email me about that, but I can say I agree with her.
I was crazy.
A lot of women are crazy. You got that right.
Yeah. It's just what level of crazy, I hear it goes with hotness.
It does. You're not insane, but you've been a little crazy. I can deal with that. Okay, I can deal with it. There you go.
I hear there's a hotness scale with a crazy scale. So my guy has told me and explained it to me.
Yeah, you crazy.
But yeah.
But you
so
crazy.
there you go.
Yeah, I feel
Right,
you on
crazy.
that.
You're
Okay.
crazy. So
Okay,
but,
we'll dig this. So you wanted to change and you did what you could physically, nutritionally, and everything else. But I'm talking about the educational aspect of how many people go to college and say, I'm going to do sexual studies or something to
outside
the
of like
like.
the gynecology world, probably not
Yes.
too many.
Bingo. That's what I mean. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
No, you arrive here because you want healing, because there's something that's jacked up in your own life. And I would say the majority of people that end up in some form of the sex industry, whether it's educational or otherwise,
Okay.
that typically it is an act of sheer fear for themselves. They are getting pushed into it in one fashion or another, and it's something that is going on internal. And so they go into this pursuit to save themselves, educate themselves,
Okay.
work on themselves, heal themselves, whatever word choices you want to use. And then they arrive in whatever avenue they arrive at.
Okay.
Mine went down the tantric path and then went down the educational path.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Wow. I in 2020, because we couldn't go anywhere, we couldn't get out, we couldn't talk to people, mask up, whatever, everything shut down. That was a horrible year. I lost a lot of money for what I normally would do with my DJ work and other things I got into. So I got online, went to a couple of websites, and I got certified as a sex coach. I didn't know of anything, or I've heard of it. Keep laughing about this. I'm being real serious, people. I got certified as a sex coach. I
Did
mean,
you learn a lot?
I learned a lot more about why people do sex coaching and what sex coaching can do for people. I used to sing in a band, so I took a vocal coach. They told me, you know how to sing, but you need coaching opposed to lessons. I get that, but when it comes to sex coaching, I thought it was more of sex counseling. I said, no, it's a coaching type of thing. So you have more education on that. Would you explain to our people what sex coaching is versus sex counseling?
All right. So,
Got to put you on the spot.
well, it depends on the coach, is what I'm thinking. I'm like, there's plenty of sex therapists out there, even that will watch people have sex. So,
Yeah.
there's that is available. I actually have clients that just came to me and said, hey, we got referred to go to a therapist to have sex in front of her, and so that she can tell us what we're doing wrong.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, it is believed. I mean, I've had people come to me and think that I'm going to have sex with them, that my part of my coaching practice is to be a surrogate. And I'm like, no, that's a sex surrogate. That's different. I don't have sex with my clients.
We're going to get back to that. So,
There you go.
yeah,
Right.
talk about that.
But sex coach is very much like the therapeutic or the counseling realm. The difference is that I can really be extra raw with my people. And I know you like the word. We were talking about it earlier. Like,
because you hadn't gotten raw in a while. She really hasn't with me. First time I've seen you in a while. So yeah, you got to meet me halfway on this thing. Okay.
It's raw for you.
Raw.
Raw.
I love it.
Okay. So I can be extra raw with people, meaning I can be more transparent. Therapy world, you cannot overly empathize with a client. So you can't do a lot of storytelling, like a sharing of your personal realms of where you come from, what you've been through. You have to hold a certain boundary, a container with your clients.
I can understand that.
Okay?
And professionalism, as they call it.
Right.
Got it.
Where in the coaching industry, it's almost flip. You build a rapport with somebody, you tell stories, you build friendship, and then you kick them in the ass. In a loving way. All my clients will say, yeah, she does this thing where she says, you know, I love you, right? And then you know that you're going to get smacked with her baseball bat.
Yes. Even outside of the sex, you know, I love you, right? Yeah. Pay back that $50 you borrowed, you know, whatever. You know, I love you, right? Or, well, what happened was really in trouble when that goes on. So now, sex surrogate. Okay, that is something I guarantee 90% of people they've never heard that before. But it exists.
Yes.
So elaborate on that.
So sex surrogates typically work with therapists, psychologists. They are referred through a network. Legal ones are.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's the thing. This is legal, people. Sex, this is legal.
There's only like I mean, it's been a while since I've checked numbers, so please don't hold me, nobody hold me to numbers.
Even one number is cool.
Okay, but I think in the United States, there's like 200 or 300 legal surrogates.
And what are they used
Okay,
for?
and so they are used for, a lot of the times, it's people who have dealt with different traumatic situations that have anxiety and fear. So they will engage with the client. It's not just sex. It's, you know, a lot of it is just holding somebody to teach them so that their limbic system can adjust.
Almost.
So our limbic, right, it provides intimacy.
Okay.
Sex can occur, but it is normally focused. So like there's been plenty of, there's a movie out called Sessions, which actually depicts exactly what sex surrogacy is about. But yeah, I mean, typically you have to come through the legal channel of a therapist to get a legalized surrogate. And if you go around and you ask your therapist, your counselor, or your coach if they would be a surrogate, you're gonna get a fuck no.
Do you happen to know any sex surrogates in the DFW area? I got to put them on.
I do not believe that they are legal in the state of Texas.
You see, Texas, you got 30 million people that live in the state, and it's not one legal.
Now there is, and if you're looking,
I'm curious.
I might have it in for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna dig this. I never heard of sex surrogates.
I guess I don't know the website off the top of my head here. Didn't know we were going to talk sex surrogates. So
you brought it up.
I know I did.
I didn't even know this shit even existed. It blew my mind.
Yeah.
Welcome to DJ Rick's sex surrogate segment.
Yeah.
Say that 5 times fast. Get out of it.
I do know that there is a group, I think down in the Austin area, that I don't know how legal they are. They claim to be legal, but I don't know all the current legalities to this for our state either. I can't tell you that California, Nevada, you know, those kinds of places all have.
I just never heard of a sex surrogate. That's what just blows my mind.
Right.
See, why is
it's
it
not a prostitute, it is a therapeutic.
I never said it was a prostitute.
So I'm just putting it out there.
I didn't bring that up. You did.
Okay.
With your bluntness.
There's prostitutes too, so.
You know, and some will go to sex workers kind of for that, and they know it's illegal, but it's kind of what hits the spot, you might say, when it comes to these things. And some people don't even engage in sex, like you said.
There's a lot. I was actually just watching a podcast that was
other than mine,
other than yours. Sorry,
don't mention them on here. They get no love.
Up in Toronto.
Oh, another country. So go ahead.
What? Up in Canada, I was watching a podcast it was a documentary type podcast, and they were talking about sex workers up there, and they were talking about how actually we think girls standing on the street corner, but the majority of good ones aren't standing on street corners. They manage themselves, and they have nice websites, and they pretty do it all upscale. I don't know if it's legal up there or not. I couldn't tell from the documentary.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Canadian law, but I will say when I went to Amsterdam, well, we actually went there from Germany. We lived there for 3 years. Father's military, and women were kind of like in storefronts. They do what they do, and it says, "If you want this, is what I got." But their government, I saw the special of their government. They said, "We do this because we can't stop it. Prostitution is not going away, so we're going to regulate it." They see doctors, they wear condoms, and they get a percentage of their profits. And he said, "We don't have that problem. We don't have this seediness like you have in your country." And he's right. We don't like it, he said, but we just have to know these girls and people are going to be safe.
But here's the thing: in the United States and other countries, other places around the world, it's not legal, right?
Yep.
What do? We say, "Oh, you shouldn't degrade yourself and sell it." So it's okay to give it away for free with whomever you want and do whatever you want. And even go to some of the raunchiest places and do God knows what with whom, But if you put a price on it, now you're devaluing yourself.
Yeah.
And if you get married, because like a lot of people get married, and one person in the relationship, mostly the woman, is is having sex with their partner and doesn't even want it. Doesn't have, has, I mean, 70% of women don't even really want to be in a marriage. They're not having an orgasm. They're just basically raping themselves whenever it happens because they're doing what they don't want to do. And it's impacting their body, their mind, their emotions, right?
Yeah.
But what are they doing it for?
The pleasure of the man or husband.
They're not even doing it for him.
What?
They're doing it. That's like, yeah.
Oh, they're married. I'm
Say like,
guessing.
oh, I want to make him happy. I don't want to cheat on me. Blah blah blah. No, they're doing it for security. Security. Why? Because they got kids. Because they want the house. The roof over their head. The food on the table. The trips. The bangles. The this. The that. Right. Right. They're doing it for that. So isn't that just another format of prostitution?
Think about it. Yeah.
And hasn't that been the way of men and women since all time?
Mainly in this country too.
So it's legalized prostitution.
Think about it that way.
Right? Couplehood is legalized prostitution.
It is. Wow. See, we're in depth. I like this. Yeah, you bring up things.
I can say whatever I want.
I'm enjoying this segment. We got to do raw more often.
But it shouldn't be that way, right? Like couplehood should be because we want to be together. Like I'm with my guy because I want to be with my guy. I love my guy. He turns me on. Right?
Certain things work for certain people. I mean, we got couples who don't even have the same bedroom where they sleep like Desi and Lucy. They got 2 separate beds and stuff. There's one couple I saw a segment about that they built 2 different wings in their house. They said he's got his wing, I got mine, but they're not leaving. They both seem to like it.
Yep.
And she's like, if we get past this and we get more into ourselves, fine. But if not, we're both okay.
Right.
I'm like, now that could work for a lot of people. They're open about it, saying we love each other. We're not leaving. We like how life is. But he's got his room and his wing. I got my room and my wing.
Right.
Kind of like living like the Queen of England. She had her own little quarters and he had his. And, yep.
Hell, you don't think Queen of England put sex in the
She had kids.
Yeah,
okay.
But you're not thinking like, ooh, the Queen of England,
At one time, the Queen was hot.
Like,
Queen was hot, but you see her younger days? I don't think the Dalai Lama was hot, so yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not into that.
But you're not like going to classify it and say yet he teaches Tantra.
Okay, I didn't know that. I don't know about Dalai. I don't know about Dalai. I just know he wears his stuff and he goes and he's cool, meditates, and everybody gives him a high five and they take pictures. That's all that I know. Why lie? Women hate it when you do. So see, and that's never going to change. Be upfront with your people, okay? Honestly, though, it's hard to think of public figures and leaders that could be freaky as hell, like they are. Yeah, and y'all stay off Bill Clinton's case, okay? I like Clinton. I thought it was kind of cool. Little style, man. Brought it to the White House. Okay,
yeah, I did.
Outside of JFK, yeah. he kind of got caught. That's all it was to it. Yeah. Anyway, so and you're located here in the Metroplex in Dallas Fort Worth. So when you find your clients, like web search and stuff like that, like I need help and I need to find a person to help me. So how would you say I'm the one that you need to come to for the things that we can fix? You yourself. If I was saying I need help in the bedroom, what could you do?
What can I do?
Like, for instance, I have a woman who just can't seem to be satisfied. Where do I go with this kind of thing?
I'd ask you if you, first off, are you going to understand your woman?
Yeah. She wants food, money, and Yeah,
I know. Do you know her body parts? Do you know her heart?
Of
Do you know her emotions?
Her head is on top of her neck. She has.
Your date went today.
I did. She told me to F off. Yeah, I didn't notice the new outfit she had on this morning. So, it was bought on my credit card. So maybe I should have.
Yeah, you're off to a bad start there then with your lady.
Okay. All right. And it wouldn't really add to it if I called her another name during sex. Huh?
Most certainly not. Not unless that's like role play. That's your thing.
Nah, it wasn't even her safe word, Yeah. So what would I do if I came and told you all this? What would you do? Because people have probably said,
"Oh my God, yeah." I mean, I've dealt with that. I got so many. Like I could tell you tales till.
Well, what would you do? You got to answer my question. If I came and told you this, how would you help me?
How would I help you?
Yeah.
I would really get into understanding women with you and understanding sex and trying to bring You know, sex for a guy is external. It's outside the body. You guys are visual. You guys like your noises and the visual of the woman and the breathing and the all of it, right?
Well, yeah.
Right? Right? And the more she moans and the more she does this, and you see her hands grabbing a hold of shit and all of that. And if she touches herself, like, oh my God, that's life fucking
Is that a bad thing?
right? No, it's not.
Check
That's
it
the
out.
way guys are built.
But the
That's
girls are.
absolutely girls are built opposite.
You
Opposite.
see how she's checking inside now? She's all guys, but girls are. You got all 900 voice on that one. That was kind of cool. Well, you did.
And opposite. Sex is internal for us women.
Okay.
So hence the, internal portion of it, like
yeah.
guy,
Okay.
right? But
Okay.
what is it? It's very much an internal process. So for us women, sex is going inside of ourselves. It is connecting to us so that we can feel our partner.
Someone tried to call me during the segment. I don't know anybody named Scam Likely. We ain't in bed like that. So
Nope.
I told you we was raw. Okay, I'm keeping that segment in there.
I silenced my phone.
I know, but see, I forgot. Bad host. It's been one of them days, people. Hell, I stayed up late last night. You know what?
I was late too.
I know, but I'm glad. Yeah, this is unedited, unscripted, and I got an air fryer in the back. Hell yeah, Instant Pot. This is how we do it. So,
There you go.
okay, let me ask you this, because people on some of the segments I've done with people talking about finding people like yourself, because I'm going to try to refer you. Say, hey, you need help. This is pushy. That's why I'm putting you on there and doing all this good stuff. When it comes down to like vaginal sex and anal sex, there's a big defined for a lot of women. They'll say one without the other. I've heard a lot of my friends say, I want to explore. I like what happens regularly, but I want to go this way with it. And a lot of women are like, well, we don't want that. We want the exit only kind of thing, but I want to keep you. I think it's a compromise. I think a relationship's 50-50, but it's more like we can do everything but that. And they leave. They divorce. They break up.
Over anal sex.
Yes, they do.
Well, I think depends on the situation. I would imagine most of those women would talk about, being more of a forced feeling like this is the only way I can keep him. Therefore, is he worth keeping if I
Is he worth keeping?
if he's worth keeping if I have to do something I don't want to do or something that is extremely painful, uncomfortable, potentially traumatizing. I mean, what's going on in her past? Because we haven't even talked about trauma and
True.
And like, oh my goodness, the level of trauma, especially for women, is extensively high, and a lot of men have it as well.
Yeah.
So,
I don't really talk, but I will talk about trauma because you got to be sensitive. You got to be careful. You don't, want to trigger. It's really deep for a lot of people. I've had some things that, I'm kind of still traumatized that I haven't told anybody or will say on the program. But I will say that when I tiptoe around this, because we don't want any more to add to that.
right.
So I really haven't done a segment on it, but I've been approached by a lot of my good buddies that are saying, I love this girl. Some are married too. Say, we have tried this. I like it. She doesn't, and then, she may have something that he may not be comfortable doing. Bring other people into the relationship, playing with the female and him not being invited kind of thing. I hear all this stuff. I'm like, well, yes, part of what we talk about. So we will do more of those, but with people who are professionals at it, because
typically, like when I'm talking to a couple, one of the first things I do with them is I work them through a sexual preference chart. So it's like where we figure out what his preferences are, what her preferences are. They get to go into like basically a scale, like a sliding scale. So they give options, polar opposites of the scale, and then they choose where they're at. And then we have a conversation, bringing them together, have a conversation. And then I talk all about the leaning in. So it's like, if I'm hardcore monogamous and you're hardcore open swinging, but somehow we get together, right? Well, that's just not going to work, right? It's like, okay, we're a dog and a cat. We're trying to get together.
Yeah,
it's not working, right?
Yeah.
Right? So somebody or both people need to learn how to lean in if the relationship is really something that they want to keep. If they want to develop a healthy container, how can they come to that leaning in portion? But it doesn't mean that we need to be 100% monogamous or that we need to be 100% poly and open or
Sure.
swinging, right? Maybe
Mhm.
we just need to have some sort of adventure play in here. Some like, let's not make it just so vanilla in the typical monogamous world, right?
Yep.
Right. So like, yeah, a
Yep.
little bit playful. So maybe it is some sex clubs, but maybe we're not engaging with others. Maybe we're just fucking in front of people or getting some
Yep.
rev up with by watching live porn. Right.
Some do.
Right?
Yeah.
That might be like, that might be a ticket, but those conversations, sex and money are the two things that, the biggest two things that break people apart.
Yep.
Yeah, and then, but underneath that is common values and lifestyle, you know, just blendability, so.
Sex and money, no
Yes.
matter where you go on this planet, all 7 continents,
Yep.
you know, all backgrounds, whatever language.
It's the two things that we make the biggest deal out of, and we also just push it away and act like it's nothing.
I don't push it away. I talk about it. I'm in holiday enough this shit. Okay. So yeah, you know,
But we make light and we also make serious about the same thing, and we can't bring it together somehow because it's like, you shouldn't want so much sex in this relationship, but damn it, you don't get to go and have the sex that you want. That's
Yeah.
I only hear, you know, like it's serious. It's a serious offense, and at the same time, why are you making such a big deal out of it?
and some ladies say I'm having too little. Like, you
Right.
know, there's a woman that I work with. She her man of her dreams, as she calls him. Well, she used to be married. And she stayed this guy before the marriage, and then when the marriage was rocky, they got together. So she went back to her husband, then they got, you know, separated, and she's back with him.
Okay.
And recently she's told me, hey, he's not coming on me, not looking at me, whatever. And she made a mental note about it. You know, she's like, he's not being as normal, he's not affectionate. She went through his phone and saw some pictures, saw some
Yeah.
links. I mean, it took everything she said in her not to really ravage him for 3 days when she figured this out, you know.
Right.
It took her 3 days to approach the fact and say, why are you doing this? He says, well, because I'm not hitting with you as much anymore, which I'm glad she wasn't holding anything sharp because she was really about to tear this guy apart. What she did, because she can't trust him, she installed cameras in her own house, showed the camera feed to me, said, if he's there, I want him, what he's doing, where he's going, and everything about him, because I don't trust him anymore.
So why stay?
I don't know.
If trust isn't there, why stay?
She didn't say.
That would be the question.
I'm not going to ask that. There's only a knife in her hand. Yeah,
Ask
you know,
it.
yeah. Say
What?
that. Bet.
I just told a client just the other day. I asked him, I said, so why do you stay with her if that's the case? Because if she's making up these lies and she's doing all this, why? And he goes, because I love her. I'm like, really? You love somebody who's gonna lie like that about what you're doing and about what she's doing.
It's what he said.
That's called codependency.
Don't take a note. It's called codependency.
Yeah,
And
no boundaries.
And she's not even charging for this. So
No.
you better write this down
You're
because
gonna
the
be-
therapist's going to charge you $100 an hour or something. So what do you charge an hour?
What do I charge?
Yeah.
150. 150.
150.
Yeah.
So you're really getting a bonus in this segment, okay? She gave you a little bit of something. She could be charged at least $25 for it. That's a quarter tank of gas for some people.
Yeah.
What? Being honest. I told you, why lie, you know? Y'all hate it when we do, you know? So
Don't lie. Don't
yeah, okay. Well, you know, stretch the truth, don't lie. Old boy said, I'm not hitting it anymore. God, give me told her that. So whenever they resolve or the next chapter, I'll be sure to let you know.
Please do.
So this is something that really
Please
needs a
do.
little bit of help, you know?
Yeah.
And if not, then I'll be her.
Sounds like they're out of their honeymoon phase and into their roommate phase.
Yeah, you might say that. And I would love to be a roommate knocking on her door. She's beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, she's crazy.
You know what? If I like her, she is crazy. I always like the little crazy ones. Yeah, I'll find out that they're crazy afterwards. Y'all put up a good front. Put it that way.
That's part of the sales pitch.
That'll be a segment. Women that put up a good front, you figure out they're fucking crazy.
It's you guys that came up with the whole hot scale versus crazy. I
We
think
did.
my guy said something like 7 or 8, but then the crazy needs to be like right here, and that's like a safe zone.
Uh-huh.
Because if you get too hot, then it's like way out there on the crazy, and you're just like, whoa, what the fuck happened? But if you get
Yeah.
down here to too much just bland, then it's boring. You need a little bit.
Bland is not boring.
I can't.
I don't think
I
bland.
think bland is boring. I can't do bland.
I don't think bland is boring. I don't think it's boring at all. It might be repetitious, but it's not boring. No, I know boring. Okay, trust me, I know boring. I know crazy too. I still have a restraining order off this one chick, so yeah.
High five to the restraining orders.
High five to ammunition.
Yeah, high five to guns.
Yeah, that's another segment. Girls with guns. Tune in next time for the craziness of the girl with the AK-47. No. Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yep. Y'all don't need a gun. Y'all need a knife.
Oh, I got those too.
Yeah.
Swords.
And a pair of legs chasing them down the. They did something wrong.
Heels. Yeah.
Heels.
Stilettos.
Y'all wear them things. Now the truth comes to the light. Well, I tell you what, knock on wood with the show, man. I'm learning a lot more since I had you on my couch, boo. I like that. I'm telling you so. You got to come back and do another one. I know we're going to do more segments and stuff, but I want to tell my audience that there are professionals like yourself.
Yes.
You know, you have training and stuff. You went to college for this, correct?
No, I did not, but I have 1,000,001 certifications. So
Okay.
yeah, like you, I did a bunch of sex certs way back in the day.
Okay, so hold that thought. Because I really want people to understand if you don't have to get a college education, but you are making a living doing it with the certification that you did receive, which I think is pretty damn good. Because again, I got mine online, and when I tell people, they're like, "It's not real," or "It's not worth." Well, we couldn't get out. We couldn't go in person to seminars. We couldn't go to people. It was 2020. All you had was your computer. It was a new segment that said, if you're going to be stuck at home instead of being movies and games, why not learn something? Why not do something that you could use?
And we all got burned out.
You know what? I didn't get burned out, but the light bulb came on. Like, what else can you take advantage of?
Yeah,
I got, like yourself, a nutritional certification. I got a fitness certification. I got a chef certification. In fact, I got 2 of those. And the sex therapy thing was like, I mean, sex coach, because it popped up on the search. I'm like, I had never heard of that before. Literally, if it wasn't therapist, whatever you want to call it, I did not know this was a step that was right next to that. And I took the course and I got the paper. I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm not going to walk in and say, okay, my name is y'all fuck.
Yeah.
Hit it harder than that, man.
That'd be interesting.
Grab her by her hair, fool. Come on now.
You know, one of my most interesting appointments ever was with a client, and I went to their house, and they brought out all the sex toys, and the 3 of us together tried to figure out how to hang up the sex swing because we couldn't figure it out. So we spent like an hour trying to hang up this damn. It's the weirdest swing I've ever seen.
Did you use it?
No.
Had
Yeah.
to ask. What?
Well, not their sex swing.
Also,
Number 1, their sex swing was really weird and I never got it figured out. Number 2, it was their sex swing and I don't sleep with my clients.
You know what? Have you ever?
No.
I had to ask because people will call me and say, has she? I don't know. I wasn't. I'm taking her word for it. She tells me no. She told me no.
No.
But some of y'all want her to.
Yeah, of course. I've been asked that numerous times. Yeah.
And
And some of the things that people say.
Some of the lines they say.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
But my favorite line, and I just looked at him and I said, "Was that supposed to be a sales pitch?" And he said, come on, it won't take that long.
Some people can't, and some people don't mind it quick. They don't. You know, some like it to come and go. I mean, they do. We all had prom night. Okay, I was 17 once. I didn't need that much time. But I'll be the first to tell you, I thought I was a man then, got my first chest hair. Okay? I just wanted to brag to the world. It happened. She didn't like that too much.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She went to another school. She still didn't like that too much. I can't believe you said that about me. Well, you know, it was a race. Whoever got to the finish line first won. It was my prom. Then I was ready to go.
You're ready to go.
And she was mad at me.
Yeah.
What?
Good reason.
Well, somebody had to take that cherry.
Yeah, but you could have. You could.
What?
Slower.
Slower?
Yeah.
I'm finna graduate. I wasn't trying. I wanted to get that mark before my finish line of high school.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was younger
imagine
then.
how much better you would have felt if you had thrown her into complete and total pleasure and I mean, like, it wouldn't have just been a little notch right there, like, woo, I did this. You could have taken on the whole idea of like riding the stallion and prancing it all over the place and really winning the race instead of just getting out the gates.
No, see, she wanted to get off the gates and win the race and have the white picket fence. She was clingy. And if I'd have spent a little bit more time in that pond, man, she's gonna try to grab me. No.
Well,
Clingy.
that's always
Clingy.
women bond through sex.
No, she was super glue clingy. You talk about the crazy scale, we got the clingy scale. Okay, you got
Oh
the
my God,
duct
yeah,
tape
there is
clingy,
that.
and you got that super glue
Happens on
clingy.
both sides though.
I know, but I'm not into guys. I keep telling you, so it doesn't bother me. I don't care what we do.
Clingy guys are just equally as bad as clingy women.
I don't know that. I'll take your word for it. I'm not into dating guys, so whatever.
They're like a little terrifying. Although clingy women, we all saw what happened to Johnny Depp. So
Yeah, well, that's crazy. It happens that way.
Yes.
Yeah, it does. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to end this segment for now. We're going to have you come back and do more because you got a lot to say and people want to hear you and maybe get some therapy and a session with you. So tell us like your social medias and how we can get in touch with the wonderful Kendall.
Easiest way is just going to www.kendallwilliams.com and everything is linked there.
I will put that into the credits of this segment. So yeah, you guys.
Thank you.
First time I had like a sex counselor, therapist, person, professional who knows what the hell they're talking about, certified, bona fide, whatever you want to call it, chop it up, mix it up in the salad bowl. This is the professional that I prefer. Okay. I don't think I need any help. I need a drink and a sandwich, but I don't think it helps. Okay. I don't like a dog scratch my head, give us a drink.
Pretty easy.
Yeah. I've gotten that way. I'm no longer 17. I'm going to remember that statement next time I bring you on. We will see you guys next time. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good one. See, recording stuff.